Welcome to East of Eden Readings. I am your consciousness coordinator, Reverend Rock, aka Rahim. And tonight, we're going to discuss current events and waking up. And I'm addressing African Americans. We're so distracted by, celebrities. Jamie Foxx getting cloned, Cardi B throwing a mic at her DJ, even the federal indictment against President Trump. The UFO hearings, congressional hearings. All of a sudden, they want to let us know that there are proverbial aliens out there from other dimensions, from outer space. All of these are distractions. All of these are distractions. This is what the media is pumping to us over here in America. Covering the real issues that's going on in the world. Like Vladimir-Putin, Russia and China and Africa uniting together. The dragon, the bear, and the leopard, the black leopard, the black panther that represents Africa. Everybody knows that the dragon is represented by China, and the bear is none other than Russia, and they're all uniting. Sub-Saharan Africa has kicked France out of their country and is not accepting any military aid from them. They're being backed by Russia and China, the People's Republic of China. They're even asking for us African Americans. They apologizing for what our forefathers did to us during the African American slave trade. And what they're saying is, what the sub-Saharan African countries are saying is that we are welcome over there with no visas. We are welcome with no visas. And I get it. Y'all don't hear this because y'all was conditioned not to listen to stuff like that. Y'all are too tired. Y'all going to work. Some of y'all are holding 2 or 3 jobs, taking care of children, and y'all distracted from real issues. I get it. I understand. And that's why I'm conveying this to you. That's why I'm divulging this information to you. This is what's going on in the world. Google it. Look it up. And you're not going to find it on any American media platforms. Africa, sub-Saharan Africa has united. And they've been having summits and meetings with Russia and China, doing military exercises. And they're telling us that we need, let me not exaggerate. They're saying they offering us to come over here. Now what that tells me is that something cataclysmic is about to happen. You can mess around and stay here if you want to, but they're plotting something. I guess you say, well, I'm thinking, what about the African American people that are in the American military? That served in the military. To be honest with you, I feel that y'all have been tricked into joining a country that have subjugated y'all for over 600 years. You thought you was going to get a piece of the pie, and you're never going to get a piece of the pie. Black FBI agents, black police officers. Police officers come from the overseers of the slave patrols that used to hang us and lynch us. And you want to be a part of that because you want to be a part of something. I get it, I understand. But now is the time to let go of your ego blockage and wake up. Because they are uniting over there. And it's not about black or white, because China is not white. Black. Putin is not a black man. But all of a sudden, he's siding with Russia, funding them. And y'all don't know anything about this. The world is uniting against the United States. Babylon. This is prophesized in Revelation. This is prophesized in Isaiah. And in case you don't know what these books are, they're from the Bible, the Holy Bible that you go to church every Sunday and listen to your preacher. And why did he tell you these things? Because he's a Mason. He's a part of a secret society designed to keep these things from you and to keep you vibrating at a lower frequency. He don't want you to wake up, because if you wake up, you will put tithes and offerings in his cup and fill his coffers. They don't care about you. They only care about their immediate family and personal gratification. But what I tell you is this. Wake up, proverbial African Americans. Yes. Google it. Don't take my word for it. Google it. YouTube, whatever platform you want to go on. Africa, China, and Russia have united. The dragon, the bear, and the leopard. The leopard represents Africa. Remember the Black Panther? Y'all seen the movie. I don't got to explain that stuff to you. It's in the book of Isaiah. This is prophesized. Babylon the wicked. This is Babylon. It has become a den of demons. I'm not begging you. You don't have to listen. This reminds me of the story of Chicken Little. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Or better yet, the story of Noah. When Noah went and told the people that it was about to rain and they laughed at him. They thought it was funny. But guess what happened? They drowned. All of them. So you better take heed. As I said again, don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. And you're not going to find it on any American or United States or any British news platform. Because Britain and the United States are together. Gog and Magog. Do your research in the Bible. Y'all read the Bible. Y'all got the Bible in your homes. All of you African Americans. I don't understand for the life of me. COINTELPRO was a campaign to destroy all of the black power structure in America. The Black Panther Party, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam. It was to destroy them, to put them against each other to where we destroy each other. And we lost. We lost that war. And here it is. The FBI pushed that under J. Edgar Hoover. COINTELPRO. Do your research. COINTELPRO was specifically designed to destroy us and eliminate our power structure, our unity. And you got people wanting to join, black people, African Americans want to join the FBI. What kind of person are you? You're suffering from, what is it, what is that syndrome, oh, what's that syndrome? But anyway, y'all suffering from it. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to be a part of an organization that destroys your people? Destroyed your people. Police officer, sheriff. You're like a fool. That's foolish and selfish and ignorant. You think you're special. You want to be a part of the group. I want to be a part of the group. You want to be a part of something. Instead of trying to figure out your own individuality. One hand washes the other. Over 600 years, they've been systematically tearing us down. Stockholm Syndrome. That's what it's called. Y'all are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. And y'all need therapy. You join the enemy against your people for money, for material gain. You foolish mortals. Having a United States president under indictment. That sounds ignorant. All because he Nobody knows the real deal about what's going on. They want to distract you with these UFO hearings and all this other crap. I'm not distilling the fact. Everybody knows I'm not distilling the fact that there's no other entities out there. There's no Anunnaki or Pleiadians out there. I know firsthand. But what I'm saying to you is this. You don't ponder on why all of a sudden they want to relay this information to us now when they had this information for years, for decades, and now all of a sudden they want to admit their existence. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we conspire to conceive. My brothers and sisters, like I said again, I overstand. Y'all are tired. Y'all are trying. Y'all working 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. Another trick, another hex they put over y'all. You're too tired to think, to read and do research. When y'all go home, y'all want to get out of the reality, so y'all drink, do drugs and stuff like that, go to clubs for fun, or whatever y'all do for entertainment, but y'all don't want to do any research. Y'all accept the status quo, the group dynamic. Be warned, African American. You reap what you sow. And you're, what is it? Guilty by association. You're an accomplice. You are part of the system that is destroying people. What does the law say? Ignorance is no excuse for the law. That's man's law and universal law. Ignorance is no excuse for the law. And if you're watching this video, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. And if you know better, do better. Again, don't take my word for it. It's on. You can, like I said, you can Google it. Go on YouTube. Again, you're not gonna find it on any British, BBC or American media outlets, because they don't wanna. They're distracting you. They're talking about bullshit. Indicting our president. The same president that freed political prisoners, that freed people under his that freed people from overly harsh punishments from out of prison. We got the most money in 4 years for under this president than any other president. What did Barack Obama do? What did he do? But kill a lot of the world leaders over there in Africa for trying to be free and be liberated from this capitalist society. Saddam Hussein. What is it? Muammar Gaddafi. Osama bin Laden. These people wanted their freedom. There was no weapons of mass destruction over there. They were lied. We were lied to. And here it is, y'all still are under the hex and spell of these people. These democrats. These democrats. Democrats never gave a damn about this color. Ever. Let me give you a history lesson. When black people, when they freed the slaves, when they proverbially freed the slaves back in the 1800s, black people were the only people who had skills. They didn't have no skills. The Caucasoid didn't have no skills. We was watching their children, feeding their children, planting their gardens, building their houses. We had all of the skills. So you know what? When they freed us, they had to hire us, and we were making the money. So they tricked us. We were the Republicans. We was like the People's Republic of China. We were Republicans. One hand washes the other. But somehow the democrats tricked us into believing in them. And the 4 girls in Alabama who got killed in that church, that was under a Democratic governor, George Wallace. Do your research. Don't take my word for it. Do your research, nigga. Negroid, whatever you call yourself, African American, I call you a foolish mortal. These are the signs of the times. It's been prophesized. I know the book of Revelation is filled with all types of scenarios and, you know, vivid dreams and things that you can't interpret. But some of the things in there, a lot of the things in there, is self-explanatory. But do you take the time out to research it? Nah, of course not. You're too self-absorbed into immediate gratification and what you're gonna buy next with your money. Filling your coffers, saving your money. Like it's gonna go into the grave with you. And a lot of us trick ourselves, brainwash ourselves, and believing that we're leaving a legacy for our children. Psych. They're indicting a president for fraud. How could a nation that was built in fraud indict an individual, a citizen? No, it's not a citizen, a president for fraud. That doesn't even make no sense. That doesn't even make no sense. A nation that is built on fraud indicting a president, a U.S. president, for fraud. And I bet you won't see any real pictures of him in that courtroom. They're only going to show drawings of him in that courtroom, saying that the cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom. Bullshit. You know why? Because it's fake. He's not getting indicted. Jackass. They're not indicting Trump. This is a ruse. It's a wool pull over your eyes to distract you from what the hell is going on with the bear, the dragon, and the panther. Look it up. Matter of fact, I'll find it for you. Excuse me. For one moment. Let me put on my goggles. Let me find this verse for you. And the eagle. The eagle is the United States of America, obviously. Let me see. Excuse me. Dead ops. All my bodies be headshots. You talking names in the truth, got the feds hot. Boom, 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 boom. Pick your mans up. Alright. King James verse. Bible on the dragon, bear, leopard, and eagle. Boop. It's simple and at your fingertips. Anything that you need to know is right here. Alright, here it goes. Alright, let me see what we got. Daniel 7:4. Oh, let me get a little bit more specific. Let me put Isaiah, because it's giving me books from Daniel and Revelation. Okay. Isaiah. Isaiah. Means light, like the shining ones. No, Isaiah, Hezekiah, Zechariah, is the light. In the event, that's right. I studied words too. Yeah, studied different languages. Yes, all for you. I'm doing this all for you, all my life. Hold on, let me see what we got. All right. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. No, that's Revelation 40 verse 31. Hold on. see. Oh. Why isn't this? But anyway, it's in the book of Revelation. I mean, the book of Isaiah. You know, it's taking too much time. I don't want to use up all of this footage. In any event, I want to go into books that I've read that assisted me in this knowledge, along with my imagination, naturally. And I'm going to start with, all right, the Holy Quran by Maulana Ali. Of course, the King James Bible. You know, I've studied that in school. Again, from 1st grade to 6th grade, I went to a private school to where a part of the curriculum, we had to study the Bible. Like I have math, science, social studies, and English. We have math, science, social studies, English, and the Bible for an hour. So I had a head start before a lot of people, you know. You know the books of the Bibles: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, Ezra, Job, so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? I know it. Because we had to learn this as children. Because back then in that school, you got spankings. Perhaps that's something that we need to reintroduce into these schools to get these children from stop shooting each other. You know? The only thing that humans understand is pain. In any event, I've also read The Bloodline of the Holy Grail by Lawrence Gardner. That's when I learned Moses' real name. And that Moses is nothing but a title. Because you got Thutmose. You got Atmos. You got... But anyway, it's a title. Moses is a title. It's not his name. His name was Aminabad. Like Amin, like Amen, like Amen. Aminabad, that was his name. Moses was his title. Thutmose the third. Moses is the same thing as Akhenaton. You know, Amenhotep the fourth was Akhenaton. He was the one that introduced the one God and said, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." Letting you know that there are other gods out there. But see, these people tricked y'all into believing that there was only one God. Again, foolish mortals. The Holy Blood and the Holy Grail by H. Lincoln, M. Bagent, and R. Lee. That taught me about the bloodline, along with the bloodline of the Holy Grail, talked about the royal bloodlines of Jesus. Those books combined together. Now, when I say I've read these books, meaning I studied and dissect them down to its very last compound. Anybody who knows me personally knows I am obsessive, compulsive. And whatever I'm into, I obsess over it until I master it. So these books that I'm naming to you, I've mastered them. They are now a part of my deoxyribonucleic acid, aka DNA. 50 Years as a Low Country Witch Doctor by J.E. McTeer. That's the name of the bridge that's going up from Ladies Island to Port Royal. It was named after that sheriff. Yes, he was a low country witch doctor. The sheriff of Beaufort County. The original sheriff of Beaufort County. Go figure. Edgar Cayce on Dreams. Published in 1968. Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukin. The Definitive Book of Body Language, The Hidden Meaning Behind People's Gestures and Expressions by Alan and Barbara Pease. That's right, I studied body language. I have to be able to read you. I have to be able to sense danger when I enter an environment. Alright, that's just what I am. I am a people person. Contrary to popular belief. So I study you, humans, you Homo sapiens. I'm trying to assist you into transforming into Homo Lux. Lux is the Latin word for light. Beings of light is what I'm trying to assist y'all into being. Transitioning from the Homo sapien that you are presently today. Kama Sutra by Vatsyana. Stellar Theology and Masonic Astronomy by Robert H. Brown. That's when I learned that the checkerboard floor in the original lodges of antiquity formulated the five-pointed star whenever the sun rose in its rightful spheres. It makes it makes the symbol of the star. Very interesting. I suggest you go read that. Stellar Theology and Masonic Astronomy. The Isis Papers by Francis S.C. Wilson. The Isis paper. That's when I learned of the secret of the gun, the weapon, the gun. Or more interestingly, the pool table. You know, you got the pool table represents the earth. Then you got the rest of the balls of all different colors. And the white ball, the cue ball, you knock all the colors of the earth, you knock all the colored balls off of the face of the earth. And at the last one, the showdown is between the 8 ball, the 8 signifies eternity, and the black ball, versus the white ball. I learned that by reading that book in the Isis paper, amongst other things. The Kabbalah, an introduction to Jewish mysticism and its secret doctrine, by Eric Bischoff, Dr. Eric Bischoff. You know, it breaks down what I learned from that the book, there's a book called the Zohar that's inside the Kabbalah that is the most potent magical book. Again, magic is defined according to Albert Pike, the 32nd degree Freemason, is magic is the absolute science of nature and its laws. Not this Harry Potter crap and abracadabra and poof disappear. No. It's about the real magic. Morals and Dogma by General Albert Pike, published in 1800s. He was a Confederate Civil War general and 33rd degree Mason. That whole entire book, I dissected that book so much that it fell apart. I couldn't even keep it together. Luckily enough, they have it published on Google. You can download the book on Google. Very interesting. Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper, a naval intel officer that they killed. Google it. Don't take my word for it. They killed him after they published this book. And this particular book, Behold a Pale Horse, is talking about exactly what the hell is going on today. About the coronavirus vaccination, about the aliens coming, about the priority of Sion, which is the rules and regulations of what they are implementing and what they're trying to do. Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. Yes, they assassinated him in his yard. Before the Mayflower by Leroy Bennett Jr. That's when I actually saw illustrations of dark Egyptians. See, in our history books that they give us in these traditional falsehood schools, they only show light-skinned Egyptian hieroglyphs. But in this particular book, I saw illustrations of darker flesh beings overruling the lighter flesh beings. See, they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know who you are. I've also learned, in correlation with the other books, that Thutmose III, the greatest Egyptian warrior, was Moses, aka Amenemhat. Akhenaten, Amenhotep IV. Stolen Legacy by George M. Jones. That's why I learned where Freemasonry come from, where all the secret societies come from. They come from Egypt, and how Greek philosophy is stolen Egyptian philosophy. Yeah, so all you Greek pledging people, all you black Greeks that's pledging in these colleges, foolish mortals. This is your knowledge. You're pledging your knowledge. You're paying dues to get information about your own history. Y'all make me tired sometimes. But I'm not going to give up on y'all. I can't. This is why I'm here. This is my mission. To resurrect y'all from the dead. The dead of your state of mind. Because y'all are in a trance. Y'all are under a hex. A spell. A curse. The curse of Cam. Linda Goodman's Star Signs. Very interesting book. Very interesting book. In that book, I learned that your physical positioning on this planet has an effect on how you can control your environment, so forth and so on, and how different colors can activate certain expressions and certain personalities in your brain. The Only Astrology Book You'll Ever Need by Joanne M. Woolfolk. Now, again, I was always into, Greek and Roman mythology ever since I was a knee-high to a duck. You know what I mean? But this book puts it more into perspective, and it correlates it with the zodiac signs, the horoscope, the hour watches, the Horus scope. Scope means to watch. Horus is watching. The horoscope also means the hour. Hour watch. Watched by the hour. The horoscope. Zodiac is just short for zoo. Like in zoology. Zodiac. The zoo. The animal signs. Message to the Black Man by Elijah Muhammad. That's where I learned that about the mothership and the Merkaba and Yaqub, who grafted the human being and created the other human being, the Caucasoid, the mountain dwellers of the rock. A chapter in the Quran, the rock. Read the chapter in the Quran called the rock. Yeah, after my nickname. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Of course, naturally. Because by nature, by my Mars being in Aries, a placement where it's natural, because Aries and Mars is from the same dynamic, my Mars in Aries naturally makes me martial. The word martial means a formidable opponent in fighting. Combat. That is in my nature. Bravery. Anybody who knows me from a little child to an adult knows that I've always been into to hand-to-hand combat. Now I know why. My Mars is in Aries. It's inevitable. I don't bully people though. I don't just go out and start picking the fights. But I love the art of it. Martial arts. I love it. It's in my deoxyribonucleic structure, aka DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, of course. Of course. Meta Meta, volumes 1, 2, and 3 by Ra'an Nefer Amen. Now, honestly, I've read volume 1, 2, and 3, but I've only dissected and studied volume 1, which is the only one you need to know, to be honest. The Secret Science of Numerology, The Hidden Meaning of Numbers and Letters by Shirley B. Lawrence. That is a book, that is a must-have book if you're going to go into the field that I'm into, because it breaks down gematria. Gematria is the correlation between numbers and letters and their significance and their power. "666 Leviathan, the Beast as the Antichrist, Part 1 through 4 by Dr. Malachi Zadok York, a 33rd degree Mason that decided to give us all the information, and they got upset and they destroyed his life and created trumped up charges of child molestation and locked him up. The Kabbalion, Hermetic Philosophy by the Three Initiates That's my favorite. It literally breaks down and tells you how you can manipulate the energies, how you can temper, quote, temper the energies to tap into this magic, the absolute science of nature and its laws. The Kybalion, written by Hermes Trismegistus, 3 times the Great, aka Hermes, aka Mercury, aka Enoch, aka Kanak, aka Hiram, aka Amenabad, aka Akhenaton, aka Imhotep. I could go so far in his reincarnations over and over again. He incarnates over and over again just to come to teach y'all, to educate y'all, because every 2,000 or so much years y'all get lost. There is no such thing as time. Thus, there is no beginning and there is no end. Energy cannot be destroyed. It's only transferred from one place to another. You have always existed, and you will always exist. This body is nothing but a prison. This physical dimension is a prison. I can't stress that enough. Human. You human negroid. Malcolm X by Alex Haley. The 12th Planet by Zecharia Sitchin. That's where I got my education from the Anunnaki and the planet ship Nibiru and the Ilion galaxy. These are books that y'all need to check out, my brethren. Encyclopedia Britannica, volume 1989. When I first moved here to South Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina to be specific, back in 1991, you know, my knowledge, my thirst for knowledge was superseded anything else. And, you know, I've always been a people person. I always had a lot of friends. People always gravitated toward me. And so when I would hang out with my friends, every now and then it would be boring. You get tired of talking about sports, which I'm not even into sports. Only UFC, because again, my Mars is in Aries and I'm a martial person. I'm into martial arts. But anyway, you know, I wasn't into sports. When I got bored talking about sports, talking about girls, talking about the club, I always kept a book. Anybody who knows me from Beaufort, South Carolina knows that I kept a book bag. And in this book bag, I kept Encyclopedia Britannica. So when I get bored with conversation, I'll be sitting in my corner, lost in introspection and studying and dissecting the information from these encyclopedias. 3 at a time. I would, of course, naturally, I would circulate them around. The Idiot's Guide to Tarot and The Idiot's Guide to Astrology. Again, I am obsessive. Anybody who knows me, I'm obsessive. The music that I love, when I was into Tupac, I'm into Tupac. When I'm into 50 Cent, I'm into 50 Cent. When I'm into King Von, I'm into King Von. I study them down to his very last compound. So I master these books, all of these books. Psychology 101, the year 2000, published in the year 2000. Physics 101, published in the year 1989. Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. World Book Encyclopedia, volumes 1994. I acquired that those library encyclopedias because my cousin was transitioning from the encyclopedias to computers now. See, you don't need computers no more because they started Google back then, and she gave me her whole entire volume of World Book Encyclopedias, and oh yeah, I enjoyed every bit of it. That's me, a Sigma male. Black's Law Dictionary, volume 5. Yes. Chattel. Yeah, you're a chattel in America. You're a property. That's why they can maneuver the way they can maneuver, because under their laws, their legalese language that y'all don't know about, because they talk in a different language. They're talking a language called legalese. You know, they use word terms like corpus and pro se, tutors, things of that nature. Alchemy and Mysticism by Alexander Rude. Yep. In any event, get these books. They're very informative. Very educational. And don't forget what I was telling y'all in the beginning of this video. Wake up. The time is nigh. Everything that's happening now is prophesied in the books of Revelation, Isaiah, Jeremiah. You don't have to take my word for it. Google it. It's there right in front of your face. Just take the time out. There's no such thing as time. You are an immortal. Peace. From East of Eden Readings, and I love you. I'm out.